Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Kimberly Smith Tiller. I am the Purpose Catalyst, and I help women identify their purpose, transform their pain into power, and activate their zone of genius so that they can activate or create multiple streams of income. So, listen, tonight we are talking about purpose with the one and only Tiffany Jones Luton. So, Tiffany and I have been connected for a little while now, and I'm super excited that we get the opportunity to do this chat, this little purpose chat tonight. So listen, as you're on, feel free to ask questions in the comments. Tiffany and I are going to be talking about some time we spent together earlier this year, and oh, what fun we had, and what she learned from it and what she took away from it. So Tiffany, tell
Hey,
me about yourself.
well, my name is Tiffany Jones Luton. I affectionately by my classmates was dubbed the Professor of Purpose.
Yes,
Um,
honey.
I do have graphic and web design business tailored by Tiffany Web and Graphic Design, and I am also jumping into women's ministry where I belong, helping other women find their way and find their purpose, and dive
Woo!
out there into that thing. So I'm a mom, I'm a la, and I'm just me.
Just doing it, just making it happen, just,
I'm
you
trying.
know, out here doing things.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I done had enough of my edges snatched. That's why they covered up now.
You know what? Don't do it. So, hi, Erica. How are you? Erica, hi. So earlier this year, Tiffany and I were together for 40 days. It was like 40 evenings, right? And she was a member of the 40-day Purposed Powerful Bootcamp. Tiffany was an amazing participant, y'all. And so we're going to chat a little bit about her experience in the boot camp, as well as what she was able to take away from it and what she is doing now, considering that things have probably shifted for her a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany, let's talk about one, what made you join a 40-day Purpose and Powerful challenge with someone you did not know?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. When I first got the email, I didn't. It wasn't even an email. I think it was a post on Facebook I saw, and I was like, oh, okay, and literally, you know how you scroll and you're like, I'm gonna go back. Well, I didn't go back, but my page kept jumping back to it, and I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, it's not jumping for no reason. Let's dive in. And I looked at it, and when I read the description, I'm like, oh wow, this sounds great, because I was literally at a place where I hadn't pinned my purpose yet. I
Mhm.
didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I knew my arena was ministry. I knew that I'm a creative and I love to design. But as far as really, really knowing and being able to pinpoint what I was supposed to be doing, I had no clue. I can't lie. I was clueless. So I was really intrigued at knowing that I could dive more in it and find more out. And it wasn't going to be a quick thing.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times you will run across different classes and challenges and stuff like that. And you're talking 5 days, 7 days, something that's usually really quick and simple. And it's not very personal. It's
Mhm.
usually a series of emails and things like that. But here we were talking about a whole group of people all banding together for a whole 40 days, which is not a short period of time, to dive in and let's discover our purpose together. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, that's different. Let me do this, because I like longevity, and you get so much more out of it when it's not a quick fix.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is definitely for me, and I just jumped in.
I mean, and jump she did. So I love one of the things that I love about Tiffany is she is multi-talented. She is skilled in numerous things. Henceforth, the web design, the graphic design, really being called to women and walking in that. She is multi-talented. What is it, or how did you come about honing into the true purpose, the real reason you were created versus being multi-talented? Because, we can kind of get misconstrued into the, oh, I can do
Yes.
29 million things. Let me do them.
Uh-huh.
And let me have
Um,
60 side hustles. So
Yes, yes. And I can't lie, for a while I was a Jill of all trades. 'Cause I can do a lot of stuff. But
right.
it wasn't until it was you and somebody else that I deal very closely with, that helped me to understand the importance of I don't have to be good at everything. I need to find my thing
Mm-hmm.
and dive in.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to focus on one thing, because when you focus on 90 things, you're not going to be able to properly give yourself to all 90 things.
Right.
They're only going to get an itty bit. And if you're going to talk about your purpose and what it is that you're doing, you can't afford to give your purpose just a piece.
Mm-hmm.
You've really got to dive into that thing. So in doing the challenge, I had to face what I knew was my purpose, but I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say yes.
You're not lying. You had a good steady no.
I did that. Listen, I had that note down to a science. You hear me? But I had to learn and understand that in my purpose, that's where my anointing is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my blessing is. And that is where I'm going to be the best blessing.
Yes.
And it wasn't an easy thing. I will not even dare to sit here and say purpose is easy, because that's a lie. It's a big old lie. It's not cute. It's not convenient.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so, 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 so worth it. And I am so grateful that I was able to hone in. And we will be honest about the fact that you have this quality, you can be so blunt.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You chucked me right up under the bus one night. I'll never forget that night as long as I live. All I saw was lights. And then as the bus kind of ran me over. But I'm grateful, because you literally, what I had other people tiptoe around with me, like, you just called it right on out. And then followed it up with, I don't know why you playing.
I don't know what happened.
I do. I still remember. We can talk about it later if you want to.
Let's not scare the people.
It was a great thing, though. I will be perfectly honest. It will be a great thing, because for some people, little hints work.
Yes.
For some people, the little subtle skippity pap upside your head works. For me, drop it on my head like a ton of bricks. I don't need to miss it. Like, I need to know that's what it is. And that was one of the things that I had been praying for. Wow. I was like, God, make it clear. Like, listen, you done obviously said I done missed something somewhere. Make it clear. And he did.
Wow. So in regards to the clarity of it, once you found out, and it wasn't necessarily found out, but once you embraced it, because
that's a good word.
To be honest, you knew. You knew. One of the things that I honestly believe is that purpose leaves breadcrumbs throughout your life.
It
and
does.
You're introduced to it in pieces. And then that final pivotal moment where it all comes together and it becomes, oh, really? Oh,
like, is you for serious, Jesus?
Is you?
That's it.
So once you found out and you had that aha moment, and it was funny because it was consistent throughout the group, but once you had that aha moment, what was that like for you? What prompted you to continue to move forward and still not stay stuck in, I mean, I know, but now what? Like, what do I do from here?
It was, once I did embrace it, which, embrace it. I think for me, because I have such a heart for people and I love people like I do, I knew and I understood that in me pursuing my purpose and continuing to go forward, I was going to be helping people. There were people that needed what I had been sitting on. And if I didn't deliver, those people were going to go without what they needed, which meant somebody else was going to go without what they needed. And then somebody else was going to go without. And it was going to be this huge domino effect of needy people. And I didn't want to be the one to be the cause of the neediness. I
Oh,
wanted to make sure. Yeah, I didn't want to be the one, because my nature in general, before I ever thought about a purpose or diving into anything, has always been I'm the go-to. I help people. That is
mm,
what I do. I help people, I serve, and I don't ever want anybody to not get what they need and it be my fault.
mhm,
But the difference between this and just regular everyday life was I wasn't just doing and doing and doing and doing.
mhm,
With my purpose, it was a divine doing. It was an appointed doing. And there was a purpose behind it. So
mhm,
I would not be just giving of myself to the point of exhaustion. I would be
mhm,
following the leading of the Holy Spirit and giving to who I was supposed to give to when I
mhm.
was supposed to give to them, which would mean not only would my timetable fall in line for me and what I needed to do, but so would so many others.
See,
And even when I got tired, I would still be good.
this is why we call her the professor of purpose, because she just falls right in line with the, yeah. Listen, for the people viewing, just, throw a thumbs up, hit me with the one if you see why we call her the professor of purpose. Okay. I just want to confirm that for her. Anyway, so
I'm not playing with you tonight.
I mean, I'm just saying it is what it is. Right?
Amen. Amen. We just gonna say amen.
Exactly. Now, one of the other key components of the 40-day boot camp was really building community. It was also
Yes.
making sure you walked away with the sisterhood. So not only Kim said number one, that's why she is. Um,
You know what, Kim? I miss you. I miss you, girl. That's my boo.
Wait, Michelle said, girl, did you practice this before you went live? Because you're talking. Go, Tiffany.
No, I ain't practicing.
Michelle also said one. This is why you're the professor of purpose. I'm just saying, it's all over you. This is why we were able to distinguish. That's why we gave you.
I'm not playing with y'all tonight.
I'm just saying, it is what it is. So again, back to our regularly scheduled chat.
Yes.
One of the main things I wanted you all to walk away with was building a sisterhood. I mean, let's be honest, it's not something that is common nowadays.
Right.
There's a whole new society of no new friends and I don't trust people and
Right.
this. But we were really born to be in community. We were never called to be isolated. So
Right.
in this, we kind of break all of that up, all of the
Mm-hmm.
norms of women not cheering each other on, not celebrating
Right.
each other, and not building good, strong relationships. All of that comes to a halt when you do
Right.
the boot camp, and you never know who you're in the class with.
Right.
It was what was designed, but I did not know how strong it would be. Let's talk for a minute how you felt coming in, not knowing anybody versus day 40 when you left. What was that for you?
I can't lie. I was skirt. I was skirt because the first couple of nights, when everybody got on, I missed it because I had so much going on.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody was already a few days ahead of me as far as knowing everybody. By the time I joined, I was keeping up with the readings, but I just hadn't been able to make the calls and everything. So initially I was just like, but it's like literally the vibe that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we all were able to talk to each other, you don't find that everywhere.
No.
We shared so much. We talked, we laughed, we cried.
Yes.
We prayed. And literally, we all still talk now.
Which is amazing.
And we love it. We clowning on each other's Facebook statuses. They clowning me tonight. But it's all love. It's okay. And it's amazing because, like you said, there's this whole society now going, no new friends. And I got to get mine. I can't be worried about you. Exactly. But if you understand how kingdom works, there's more than enough for everybody.
More than enough. And I think
that's it. And people miss out on that. I think the little thing I saw one time was somebody talking about the grocery store. And they took a picture of like all the bread in the grocery store. And they were like, literally, do you think that these other bread companies would have bread if they thought about the fact that one company already had it? No, what? It's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
And literally, I just have to remind myself that even if we do the exact same thing, you are assigned to certain people.
Right.
I can't have your people.
Right.
They're not for me. I'm assigned to certain people. You can't have my people because they're mine. And God created it that way. We have our unique personalities and all of these things for that very purpose.
Yep.
And so the sisterhood that we shared was absolutely amazing. It was so awesome to know that we had our little tight-knit group, and what we talked about in that group was literally between us.
Yes.
It wasn't we get on and we talk and we cry and we share, and I'm finna see a Facebook status about what I said to you tomorrow.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to put my business out on Front Street. There was none of that. And the fun part about it is we didn't have to say that up front. Nobody had to say, listen, what goes on here stays here now. This is our community. This is us. It was an understood thing. I believe we all went in open to the sisterhood. And so when it happened so naturally. Nobody forced anything. Nobody begged for anything. We had a perfectly facilitated environment so that we could grow. And we grew together.
You did. It was so synchronous. It was amazing to see you all start out a little unsure, a little like, what is it going to be about? How is this going to happen? What are we doing tonight? And then I think around day 5, you all hit your stride. And you know, it was the rest of it is history.
That was it.
Like, oh, we're in this.
And I mean, it was so good because literally we'd get on the call and we're going, wait a minute, so-and-so's missing. Where they at?
Right.
And somebody's in somebody's inbox because I didn't know where my sister at. Wait, what's wrong with you? You got something going on tonight? I mean, you know, and it was amazing because a lot of times people don't care.
People don't care.
But we did. We were looking for each other. Like, are you okay? Is something wrong? What's up? Like,
there was a compassion. There was a different level of compassion that was boot camp that was unlike anything that I have seen before, like prior to. There was another level of caring. You all came together because you knew what you were doing. You all had the same different, not the same viewpoints, because you all didn't come from the same background, but you all had the same end goal. Yeah. And so there was a lot of, no, girl, you can make it. You got this. What do you need help with? You all carried each other. And that was amazing to see that there was no person left behind. And even, you know, some of the people that kind of straggled, you all were like, oh, no, come join us. We're here tonight. What are you doing? Where is it at?
Okay, what you doing? Come on here.
Exactly. It was so good. I think the one thing that's different with you, though, I think you were the only one that came back and said, not in a bad way, that it kind of changed your positioning and your perspective, even in your church.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to tell it all. You can just give brief synopsis.
It was because there's a whole lot. We never had to. It was literally just one of those things, you know, I've been in church my whole life, pretty much. You know, I know how to do things. I know what to do. I've got all of the protocol down. But in walking into certain things, it's just like you get like it. You're just like, okay, I get it now. Like, I really get it. You know certain things, but when you know, the shift that happens, like, really, and it's like, it's an amazing shift, but it's a great shift because you literally have the opportunity to see everything with a whole new set of eyes.
Yeah.
You're looking at everybody that crosses your path differently. You're looking at every situation differently. You're not closed off to anything. Because in the purpose of everything that we did, you know, we also had to learn and understand and truly rely on faith.
Yeah.
We had to grab a hold of that thing and hold on like we were riding a bull. So, you know, let's just be real now. Come on, we're going to make this cute.
Okay.
But it's like, then you started to really see Why am I going through this?
Mm-hmm.
Why have I been placed in this position?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this being required of me? And you look at it so differently that the shift literally is just like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get it, like there's no taking it back. You can't give it back. Nobody can take it from you. Once you get it and the switch clicks, that's it.
What changed for you through the 40-day boot camp? You went in as one Tiffany, but you walked out like a lioness. Like you walked out like a totally different Tiffany. Give us 2 takeaways that happened for you during that time? And it could be 2 takeaways that people saw how you changed. Because a lot of times, when we change and people are like, "Ooh, where'd that come from, girl? What's that?"
And literally, I got a lot of that because I did. Because one of the biggest takeaways for me was boldness. Because, we talked about this many times. I like the background.
Oh, you loved it. It was so comfortable.
Can't nobody see you back there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do all sorts of stuff and nobody ever knows. I'm not playing with you. But I had to learn to be bold and step up and be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I had always had this whole, if you were that person out front, in a lot of instances, it wasn't necessarily a good thing. So I never wanted that. Mm-hmm. But as I grew and I learned and embraced my purpose more, boo, get over it. If you're operating in purpose, they ain't looking at you no way. They looking at what's inside of you.
For real. And
that's what you need to be focused on. So I literally had to be bold. And I had people literally, I don't know what's got in her mouth. There's nothing wrong with my mouth. I know how to talk. I know how to stand firm and stand tall in who I am. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you know and understand, look, I know who I am. I know what I'm supposed to do. I speak with a boldness now that I didn't speak with before because I was always trying to be mindful of people's feelings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But now, boo, don't get me wrong. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if telling you the truth and being obedient to what I'm supposed to do is going to hurt your feelings, that's something you need to work on. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Well, I mean, really? It's true.
I mean, I had to learn it.
You walked out with a different level of boldness. It was not the same Tiffany. It was like, oh, Kim say, hear her roar.
Wow.
I mean, it was something. When you left, how did you remain dedicated to pursuing your purpose?
I will be honest, I've had my moments because life happens. Yeah. And that can be so interesting on so many levels. But I think one of the biggest things that helped me to stay focused was knowing which direction I was supposed to be going in and finally buckling down and saying, okay, the biggest thing that you have to realize, Tiffany, is it's not up to you to figure out how it's going to happen. You got to be open to the direction and the guidance. And you have to understand that it's not going to happen when you think it's supposed to happen. You just got to do the work and be obedient. Everything else will fall into place. So it's been, being consistent with my boldness, being consistent with myself. Because, of course, there have even been moments when, are you sure that's what you're supposed to be doing? Are you positive? Because it comes.
Yes.
Why? Because the enemy exists and he does not want you to do and be who you're supposed to be. But I have been fortunate because, since we do all keep in touch and hit each other up on Facebook, that kind of thing, it means the world when somebody drops a line here or there, or you see a status that somebody else has posted. So I've literally just had to focus on remaining bold and just pushing even when I didn't want to push or when I couldn't see why I needed to push, because sometimes it's not always crystal clear.
Exactly.
And when you can accept that and you can finally understand that, that makes it a whole lot easier. But I am blessed. I have a nice little circle of people that don't mind holding me accountable.
Which is what you need. We talked about
Amen.
that. You need everybody in the circle.
Right. And I'm grateful for my people that hold me accountable because they don't mind just, look, what you doing?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's an amazing thing. And that's one of the things that the sisterhood we all gained during those 40 days. We have accountability partners. And because we all have that link to the Holy Spirit knows who to send and when to send them.
Listen, y'all was popping up like, hey, have you heard from? It was so
Where's
cute.
she at? We got to send up smoke signal, message in the bottle. What we doing?
Exactly. But I mean, that's what we wanted. We wanted community that
Right.
support. And you do need a squad. There's
You do.
always room for a squad. Always room. But it's the right squad that matters.
Right.
So I
It
think
makes a difference.
yeah, it is. It is. It absolutely is. What was the one part of the challenge that you think affected you the most, that made a bigger impact than the other part?
When you made me teach.
I don't recall me making you teach.
When you voluntold me to teach.
I mean, I could go with a voluntold. Why did that make a big impact?
Because I wasn't ready.
You were more than ready.
I was not.
You were more than ready. You came with a whole lesson plan, outline, and fleshed out notes. People said, how can I sew afterwards? You were more than ready.
But I say I wasn't ready because literally I went in and my thing is, okay, we've got somebody teaching us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's showing us the way she's doing her thing. We're learning, we're taking in, we're participating, we're doing the exercises, we're doing the homework. I wasn't supposed to be on the roster like that.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh, okay. I don't recall. I don't recall. I mean, that being in the, I don't even think I gave you a syllabus. There was no curriculum outline. We
See,
just,
what had happened was,
right. What happened was you got called out to teach one. It was very impromptu.
yeah,
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
I was like, huh? Houseway? Literally, that was one of them is you for serious Jesus moments. It
But
really
you
was.
okay, so afterwards, so going in, you were like, petrified. But then afterwards, how did you feel?
I was so relieved at it. I really was.
Why
I
were
was
you?
I was not relieved in a way like, oh my gosh, it's over. Not that kind of relief.
Okay.
But I guess because you know we can plan things out for ourselves and say we're going to do some
Mhm.
so such a way,
Mhm.
but literally most of what I said was not in the notes that I wrote. So that was one of the, and it was just like, okay, yeah, see, this is what happens when you just let God do what God does.
Was it
You just
confirmation
obey.
for you?
Huh?
Was it confirmation for you that that was a place of, like a set place for you? Like that was a part of what you were supposed to do? Did it confirm your purpose in any way?
It did.
Okay. Why
It
so?
did. It did. Teaching has been my passion since I was 4. I
Oh,
knew when I was in pre-K that I was going to teach. I said it at my pre-K graduation. I'm going to teach when I grow up.
oh,
Um, but I had always focused in the public sector.
mhm,
And, you know, I spent 16 years teaching pre-K. But to do that was more confirmation that, yes, you have this gift. Yes, you have this ability. But what about the kingdom?
mm, mm. Don't you
And
love
it literally helped me to see
it?
that that was what I needed
Mhm,
because that was where I was supposed to be.
mhm,
And it was amazing. So I mean, it was just one of those things. It's like, oh, so this is what it feels like when you do what you're supposed to do.
That's funny. How did the conversation go with your pastor when you was like, I think I'm going to embrace this purpose thing that we've been discussing for months now, and I kept telling you no about how did that how did,
My
how did that
my pastor is absolutely amazing. He just kind of looked at me and went, "Uh-huh."
he was very patient.
Oh yeah.
He was very
He does not stress me at all. He just gives me this look like I was waiting on you.
And how has that been, your journey from, okay, I'm giving you a yes. Have you taken that yes back? Or have you remained surrendered in that yes?
No, I'm chilling in the yes.
Hey, chilling in the yes.
I'm chilling in the yes,
Oh,
and I'm actually revamping some things and working on some things, and yeah, can't take the yes back. It's out there now.
it's out there now. You're out there now. You might as well go with it.
Yeah, that's it. Just get over it, Tip. Get over it.
What would you say to any of the women thinking about, so the 5-day Destiny Pursuit is coming up. It's an online scavenger hunt for women to
Okay.
hone in on their purpose. So we're taking
Right.
like one page out of the launch devotional, one
Uh-huh.
page, one day out of the boot camp, and I'm helping women find their purpose in 5 days through an online scavenger hunt.
Uh-huh.
What's two things you would tell them?
Um, just do it and be ready.
Be ready for what? Exactly.
Anything. Absolutely, positively anything, everything. Like you can't make a list and be like, I'm gonna be ready for this. Nah, no, no. That's not how that works. You be ready for anything because the amazing thing about it is when it comes in a way that you least expect. But it
Yes.
is absolutely positively everything that you need. Right when you need it.
That's true.
But you just gotta do it and you gotta be ready.
That's true. Okay. So that starts December 16th. But in January, we're doing another 40-day boot camp, right?
I do.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think the date is January 20th we kick off.
Okay.
Um, So when you think about the boot camp and you think about the top 3 things that you were able to take away from the boot camp, what does that look like for you?
It's definitely amazing. And to be able to walk away with the clarity, the sisterhood, and the focus that I had, it was well worth every minute. It was well worth every tear. It was well worth every issue for serious Jesus. Like, it was well worth it. It really, really was. Don't be laughing because you know that's exactly what I said all the
The
time.
serious Jesus. You did.
Issue for serious.
You did have a couple of those. You did.
I did.
Yeah. But that's important though. I think sometimes if we don't have those big moments where everything seems bigger than us, then it's
Mhm.
really not God, it's us.
Yes,
This is my
yes.
dream. This is my purpose. Like we did it
It's
ourselves.
all me. I did it. And
Yeah. Some of the
true purpose
stories,
does not work that way.
no, it's way bigger than us. It's way bigger than anything we could ever imagine, anything we could ever dream. It's definitely huge and intense. And
Yes.
yeah, and you gotta kind of go and check back and see exactly what it is again. Am I sure this is it? Am I sure?
Yeah,
So
like I found that paper that you made us write that time.
I made you write a paper, or was
Okay,
this
the
like
paper,
your capstone?
you didn't make us do it, okay? You
Oh,
didn't make me do it.
okay.
But we did it. And I did it.
But it made you think about things, though, right?
Yes.
It
It's
made
like
you
you
really
find it and you're like, oh.
right, because you really had to sit down with God on your capstone, didn't you? Right?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's like the old people, you had to have a little talk with Jesus, baby.
Yes, based on y'all's papers, y'all had to have a long talk. Y'all had long, dialogues with the Jesus and made sure.
And we did, though. We did. We did.
Yes,
We
yes.
really did.
And I think that was a good thing. It was time for you to put out your plans. It was
It was a
time
wonderful
for you
thing.
to really say the things that you knew
Yeah.
God had downloaded.
It's the truth, but you made it so easy to do. You were an amazing facilitator. So the environment and the direction and the support that we received from you made it easy to do. Even when you were snatching edges and driving buses over people and stuff,
I
it
don't
was still
ever
great.
feel like I snatched an edge without giving Jamaican castor oil to replenish.
I mean, you gave the castor oil, but you still snatched the edge.
But there was restoration in the house.
But still.
And Michelle gonna say
It
yes.
wasn't instantaneous.
Did you hear Michelle say yes? Michelle, we don't necessarily need that tonight. You co-signing the wrong things.
Sign it, baby.
Tiffany, tell the people where to find you again so they can sign up for your services. And then, we have to come back and do this when, you finally start this that you're embarking.
Yes. Of course, you can find me on Facebook under Tiffany Jones Luton. I'm also on Instagram as Tiffany Luton and Tailored Designs by Tiffany. I'm also at my website, tailoredbytiffany.org. And to facilitate and push in ministry, there will be a new website coming soon.
Hey now, Professor Purpose is in the house. I am super happy that we had the time to chat.
Yes, it's been so much fun.
It has. I think it's important that we really become dedicated to the things of God. We're closing out 2019, and
yes,
in order to start 2020 strong, we want to make sure our focus and our tenacity is really at the level that it needs to be.
Yes, most definitely.
Not just what we want. What we want is great. What is God saying about that? And what are His plans for 2020? And we want to make sure we're where we need to be. So thank you for joining us. Everybody,
thank you for having me.
Absolutely, girl. We're so excited to have you tonight. And again, just in case you missed in the beginning, I'm Tiffany Jones, Purpose Catalyst. Our women identify their purpose, transform their pain into power, and build their zone of genius so that they can create opportunities. Super excited to have my girl Tiffany with me tonight, and shout out to all of you that joined. Have a good night. Thanks.
Good night, y'all. Thank you.